Okay, I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but I'm still having trouble finding things to wear and put on the shelves in order to like relate to the video. And this might have been the hardest one yet because there is surprisingly very little beaver content out there. So I have Donkey Kong Country. There's a beaver enemy in there. So put that there. Oh, I have Angry Beavers on DVD. It's right here. That's all I got. So Hoppers is the new Pixar movie directed by Daniel Chung, who is the creator of the Cartoon Network show We Bare Bears. And I believe I did a Rob Watches on that show a long time ago, and I thought it was alright. I was never really able to get into it. I know it's very popular, but I never really did a lot for me. Don't start with me. They did actually have a small reference to the show in the movie, which I'm kind of wondering exactly how they got that in there. Like, how did Disney allow that? Or did they just sneak it in and nobody noticed? So the movie takes place in a place called Beaverton, which is apparently real. It's a real town in Oregon, or at least I guess it's named after it or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird and surreal, especially seeing a Pixar movie take place in a real city, allegedly. The movie's about a girl named Mabel Tanaka who wants to save the local glen from being destroyed because they're building in a new road, but all the animals have left and it just allowed them to do construction there without any problems. So she has to find out why and how to bring them back. Then she discovers her college professor has invented a way to put your mind into the body of a robot animal and allows you to communicate with them and go undercover. So she hijacks one of the beavers and goes to find out why the animals had left the glen in the first place. That is one of the things I kind of liked about this movie, is how just absurd it is. And things escalate very quickly in this, and it becomes this sort of creative chaos, and it's so entertaining and funny and really interesting and even disturbing at a few times. We'll get to that. Another thing I really liked about this movie was how good the characters are, because this is a situation of everyone is wrong. Everyone is wrong. Mabel, she cares about wildlife, but one of the things about her is that she's got anger problems and she's trying to save the glen, but she's doing it for kind of a selfish reason. And it always seems like she's very headstrong, and every time she makes a decision without thinking, it just kind of makes things worse and things escalate and she has to figure out how to fix things. Then there's Jerry, the mayor of Beaverton, who's the one responsible for the road being built in the first place. And I love that him and Mabel are just always at odds with each other, to the point where they're having these screaming, incoherent, immature back and forths with each other. And they did this several times in the movie. It's just really funny to watch. But it seems like they were setting him up to be the main villain of the movie. But as things went on, you discover he's not really such a bad guy. Like, yeah, he made mistakes and he did some stuff he wasn't supposed to, but you know that he's genuinely, like, trying to help the town, and the townsfolk really like him, and he made pancakes for his mom in the morning. No bad person would do that. But it did seem like he was set up to be the main villain of the movie, and while, like I said, he did some stuff he wasn't supposed to, he was not really portrayed as the villain in the end. There is a villain that shows up at one point, which does bring me to another thing that I found kind of interesting about this movie. It has a very morbid sense of humor. So when they communicated with the animals, they established that they are aware that animals eat other animals, and they just kind of accept it. Because, like, really, what are you going to do? And there are a few moments in this movie where things kind of cross the line. And one particular moment, you will know when it happens. I'll try not to spoil anything, but there was one moment where just something happens, and then everything just goes silent. And you just realize, oh, this is about to get really bad. And it does. And I really like that Pixar has not strayed away from getting into the just really disturbing and creepy stuff again, because it definitely goes there several times, although mostly played up for comedic effect. But there were some moments in this movie that were just genuinely disturbing. I also liked a lot of the animal characters in this, and the voice acting was also very good. I feel like some of them were just kind of like not really having much of a purpose in this movie. Some of them were just kind of there, and they were just kind of along for the ride. Which is fine. It wasn't like they were distracting or anything, but there were moments where I felt the movie was just a little bit too crowded. Although I would say the movie's biggest problem is this is nothing really new or original. Not that every movie has to be, mind you, but it always felt like Pixar tried to like raise the bar every time. And this is just kind of a story that's been told many times. Although they seem to be fully aware of it. In fact, if you've seen the trailer for this movie, they had that whole bit where, oh, this is like Avatar. And they're like, no, this is not like Avatar. This is completely different. So, at the very least, they were self-aware. Ultimately, what matters is, the characters and the story and the writing and the message, which this movie does have a very good message about how we're all in this together. Animals, humans, everyone is in this together. And in order for us to survive, we got to understand each other, which goes back to Mabel and Jerry having all those screaming arguments. And eventually, they had to learn to work together. I'm glad a movie like this exists to, teach the younger generations about such things, because they taught my generation about these things. And, well, that didn't work out, did it? I am very disappointed in my generation. I really like the movie. I highly recommend it. I don't have too many negative things to say about it, just mostly nitpicky stuff that doesn't really take away from the movie. Also, we now have more beaver content, which is apparently a hole that needed to be filled, so there's that. It was nice seeing a Pixar movie again. I've been kind of behind with Disney and Pixar for a while. I recently watched Elio, and I thought it was really good. I wouldn't call it one of Pixar's best, but I did enjoy it. I didn't think it deserved a bomb. But seeing that and then seeing this felt really nice again. It's nice to see Pixar getting back to what they do best. Oh. Oh, man. But that's all I got for Hoppers. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of it. My name is Rob, and I'm gonna try to post more on this channel again. Try.